Hey folks, Dr. Joe here. Glad you're with us today. Hope everyone's having a good day. Fun show today. We're going to talk about the best supplements you're not taking. And it's interesting because people say, what should I take, Dr. Joe? Going to cover a lot of that today. If you're new to the show, the way this works is I will talk for 24 minutes. You, whatever platform you're on, will type in any health questions you might have. Type it in. At the 24-minute mark, we're going to take a break. Garrett is going to ask me any questions that you might have typed in. I will answer your health questions. Then we do another 24-minute segment. Then Garrett will answer, let me know if there's any other questions. So this is a great opportunity for you guys to get some health questions answered. And it's nice because whatever health question you have, other people have it as well. So it's really a good opportunity for you to help us and help all the listeners. We have tons of listeners all over the place. So I don't know. You want to be here, John? You want to hang out? Any reason for it? Okay, good. Okay. All right. We're ready, Garrett? He's checking everything, making sure we're on all social media. All right, ready? All right, here we go. Hey, folks, Dr. Joe Esposito here. I am glad you're with me today. What we're going to talk about today are the best supplements that you're not taking. And it's interesting because what inspired this is I just watched a video the other day, and it was about this one supplement they advertise on television. It's for brain health and memory, and it's supposed to be so great. Well, it turns out that they do $20 million a year in sales. No study has ever been done to prove that this stuff works. And a lot of the tests that they ran on it was contaminated with toxins that could actually be dangerous for you. So there's good and there's bad. My German grandfather always said, always buy the best. It's always cheaper. And I didn't understand that as a child, what he was saying. I thought, well, if it's more expensive, that's not good. Well, that's not necessarily true. The best is always going to be cheaper. When it comes to supplements, that really holds true because there's a lot of junk on the market today. So let's jump in. We got a lot of supplements I want to talk about today. Number one, glutathione. How many of you ever heard of the glutathione? Raise your hand. Probably haven't. Glutathione is an antioxidant, and it's produced by your cells. I'm going to explain what antioxidant is in just a second. Glutathione levels in the body can be reduced by a number of factors, including poor nutrition, environmental toxins, stress, and age. The one thing we all are glad we have. I look at age as something good that we got this far. Now, in addition, it can be produced by the body. Glutathione can be given as a supplement. Now, you can do it intravenously, and there are some cases where intravenous glutathione might actually be the best way to take it. For example, alcoholism and damaged liver. But you want to take a supplement, certainly, at least every single day. Most people can't do intravenous glutathione, of course, but you can take a supplement every single day. I take glutathione as part of my supplement protocol, and you probably should too. So oxidative stress, let me explain oxidative stress and free radicals. Oxidative stress, when there's an imbalance between free radicals and the body's ability to fight it off. So free radicals occur from environment, from that your body produces them, toxins that you inhale, bad food. And free radicals, I always liken it to Pac-Man. Remember Waka Waka Waka? Pac-Man eats through things. And so that's what free radicals do. They eat through things. And antioxidants stop the free radicals from eating through things. They quell them a little bit. So if you have too much oxidative stress, it can be the precursor to a lot of different diseases. This could be diabetes, cancer, rheumatoid arthritis. So glutathione is the master antioxidant. It's the best one in the body. And it can help stave off a lot of oxidative stress and thus reduce your risk of disease. So all of us have free radical production. If you smoke, I used to do a lecture. I did a lot of lectures. And I used to say there's 100 billion free radicals, Pac-Man, in one puff of cigarettes. Well, I was wrong. Turns out the research was wrong. It's 100 trillion free radicals in a puff of cigarettes. So imagine 100 trillion Pac-Man attacking your body. And that becomes an issue. So you want to use antioxidants to fight the free radicals. And that's what glutathione comes in. It can help improve psoriasis. So many people have skin conditions. And when people come to me, they say, Dr. Joe, I've got this skin condition, I've got psoriasis, eczema. And so many times we have to go ahead and treat it from the inside out. So when I see skin conditions, I always think, okay, that's coming from the inside out, not from the outside in. And the traditional treatment is put lotions and creams and salves on it, which can be helpful, but it's coming from the inside out. And whenever I see a skin condition, I think about the liver. And whenever I treat the liver on a patient with skin condition, in most cases, we start to see some really good results. So it's really kind of neat when you understand how the body works. And that's one fun thing that I enjoy about my job. It's not even a job, it's what I do for fun, is that we try to get to the cause of your healthcare problems and not just treat the symptoms. And that's a very different way of looking at healthcare. I know most doctors don't get that. It can, like you said, can reduce cell damage from alcoholic and non-alcoholic fatty liver. When I was in school many years ago, we learned that fatty liver was due to alcoholism. That was it. The only answer, fatty liver, alcoholism. Now it turns out there's something called non-alcoholic fatty liver. And where does that come from? It comes from sugar. Especially high fructose corn syrup is the number one cause. Other things can do it as well. But non-alcoholic fatty liver, we find it now in kids as young as 4 and 5 years old. Obviously, they're not drinking at 4 and 5 years old. I hope they're not. So where's it coming from? It's coming from that high sugar diet. So we need to be careful about that, and that's why glutathione, again, you produce it inside your body, but I take it as a supplement as well. It can improve insulin resistance in older people. Now, there's a big buzz in the health world about insulin resistance. What the heck is that? When you eat sugar, any type of sugar, could be sugar from a fruit, could be sugar from a carrot, could be sugar from a soda. What happens is the sugar gets in the blood, and the brain says, hey, there's sugar in the blood, I need insulin. So the brain sends a message to your pancreas, and the pancreas releases insulin, and insulin goes into the cells, and it acts like a key. It opens up the cell so that sugar can go in and be used as fuel, specifically glucose. That's a certain type of sugar. So the body uses glucose as its primary source of energy. Well, insulin is the key that opens it up to let the glucose in. If you eat a lot of sugar, you produce a lot of insulin, and the cells can't keep opening up and letting sugar in, so the cells resist the insulin from having them open up. It's called insulin resistance. Now, if you eat a lot of omega-6 fatty acids, bad fats, canola oil, cottonseed oil, soy, corn, hydrogenated oil, these oils can actually clog up the keyhole, simply put, so that the insulin can't open up and let the sugar in, and that too can create insulin resistance. So I did a show a couple of weeks ago on the dangers of omega-6 fatty acids, and you want to certainly listen to that too. But the glutathione can help prevent the damage from non-alcoholic liver and insulin resistance, because as you get older, the cells become less sensitive to the insulin. And we're finding out that glutathione, as research done at Baylor School of Medicine, they found that it can help manage insulin resistance, which then can also help manage weight. Because if the sugar can't get into the cell, it can't be utilized as fuel. What does the body do with that sugar? Converts it into glycogen, which is stored as fuel for later on. And then glycogen, once you have enough glycogen stored, it converts into triglycerides, which then becomes fat. So that's why sugar makes you fat. So insulin resistance can lead to obesity because the cells aren't utilizing the sugar. Now, you need the sugar, the glucose, to be used by the cells because that's how they create electricity and energy to function more efficiently. So insulin resistance is really dangerous, also called type 2 diabetes. It's very dangerous because the cells aren't capable of using the fuel that they need to function. And so glutathione can help with that as well. It can help with peripheral vascular disease. That's when the arteries become clogged up with plaque. Now, when I first got in practice, been a long time ago, I didn't see that much hardening of the arteries. I see it periodically. Now, I see it almost every day. So many patients have it, and people that think they're healthy. I had one patient come in the other day, actually one of my coworkers at a radio station, and she came in, and I took x-rays on her, and she had a lot of plaquing. And the problem with her was that she had a bad diet, too. She drank a lot of diet soda, but she was taking vitamin D, vitamin D3. I tell you all the time to take vitamin D3, right? But she didn't have enough K2 in her diet. Vitamin D3 helps you absorb calcium. K2 drives it into the bones. Well, she was taking a lot of vitamin D, as per her doctor, but she didn't know about the K2. K2 takes it out of the blood and drives it into the bones. If you don't have enough K2, the vitamin D3 can cause you to build up plaque in your arteries. Now, again, she had a bad diet. There's a lot of other factors involved as well. But it was really important that we get her on a good diet. And now she's cut out the diet sodas, and she's feeling better. She's losing weight. It's really great to see the changes there. When I first got in practice, I hardly ever saw people with Parkinson's disease. Now I see them all the time. And one study, actually a couple of studies, have shown that glutathione documented it may have positive effects on reversing the tremors and the rigidity. Now, again, it's in large doses. It's not just taking a standard dose, but some hope for Parkinson's, which is great too. It can fight autoimmune diseases. Chronic inflammation caused by autoimmune diseases can be an issue, and glutathione helps prevent oxidative stress, free radicals, that can bring down inflammation. Autoimmune diseases attack the mitochondria of the cell. The mitochondria is the part of the cell that generates electricity. It's your powerhouse. And so what's happening now, the mitochondria can help the glutathione can help the mitochondria, which can help produce electricity to make the cells work more efficiently. So we're talking today, if you're just tuning in, I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. We're talking today about the best supplements you're not taking. And I'm spending a lot of time on glutathione because it does so many different things. Got a lot more to cover. One of the studies was exciting about children with autism. Children with autism have higher levels of oxidative stress and lower levels of glutathione in the brain. And that increases susceptibility to neurological damage of children with autism. And so the glutathione might be able to be part of a protocol to help children with autism. And autism is crazy. When I was young, autism was 1 in 10,000. Now it's 1 in 33 children are on somewhere on the autism spectrum. Now, we're diagnosing it more efficiently, I give you that, but it really has become an epidemic. And it scares me, and I can give you a whole lecture on autism, but that's not today. So I want you to increase your cruciferous vegetables. What are those? Those are bok choy, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. Increase things like garlic and onions. These are great sources of glutathione. I've been plant-based eating now for about 38 years, 36, 38 years, somewhere in there. And so I get lots of glutathione in my diet, and a precursor to glutathione, but I also take a supplement. Nuts, legumes, milk thistle, flaxseed. These are all great things for glutathione, which then help clean out the liver. And the liver is really important because everything you eat, everything you drink goes through the liver. And so I can't stress enough how you have to start thinking about your liver. So what I do, whenever I eat a meal, any meal, I think to myself, is this meal going to help me or is this meal going to be bad for me? And if it helps me, I eat it. If it doesn't help me, I try to make a different choice. But people say, well, Dr. Joe, it's the holidays, and I just want to celebrate, and I want to eat this, and I went to a party, and one of my office workers was telling me he went to a party this past weekend, and they had a bunch of cakes and a bunch of cookies, and the girl who held it was a diabetic, and she made him, he says, I'm taking these cookies and cakes home with me. I'm not letting you keep these, because if you keep them, you're going to eat them, right? If it's in the house, you're going to eat it. And he said, I threw it away. He says, it wasn't good for me. I knew that. And it certainly wasn't good for her. And so that was really important that we understood that, to get it out of the house. Get the bad food out of the house. This stuff is so dangerous. It affects so many different things. And especially if you're low in glutathione, it's going to make it even worse. So we're talking today about the best supplements you're not taking. I want to talk about a supplement called quercetin. Now, quercetin, it's Quercetin. Again, these are things you've never heard of probably. Quercetin is called a flavonoid. It's found in a lot of fruits and vegetables. Variety of potential health benefits, including reducing inflammation, boosting the immune system, protecting against oxidative stress. Remember, we talked about that, free radicals attacking the body. And it can also be beneficial in treating a lot of conditions like cancer, fever, diabetes. And research published in Nutrients Research Journal finds that quercetin has a wide range of biological actions, including anti-carcinogenic, anti-inflammatory, and antiviral capabilities. Now, quercetin is a wonderful antihistamine. So when you have swelling, a histamine reaction is the body creates swelling to fight off some type of attack. And if it's pollen or if it's a virus, you have inflammatory attack, and quercetin is an antihistamine. Now, if you ever took an antihistamine pill, chances are you fell asleep right afterwards. It's very tiring. Quercetin doesn't have that effect. So things like onions and apples are very high in quercetin. But you really want to consider looking at your diet and saying what foods are going to be high in these nutrients. And here's the kicker. Everything I'm going to teach you today, and always will, you can get everything there from fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, from a plant-based diet. There's almost nothing that you can't get from a plant-based diet. The only supplement that if you had to look at what am I going to be deficient in is vitamin B12. So vitamin B12 occurs in animals, And the reason is it's produced by a bacteria. And what the bacteria does, the bacteria eats the flesh, the dead flesh of the animal, and it spits out B12. So that's how you get B12 if you're eating animal products. So I look at, can I get it? I probably could if I ate, fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, which I do. But I still supplement. I always want to be on err on the side of caution. And all the tests I've had done on my brain, my body, my biological age, all 15, 20 years younger than I really am. So how about if I had a pill? I'll give you a question. If I had a pill and I can give it to you and it would take 15 years, it would add 15 years, quality years to your life, would you take it? Absolutely. How much could I charge for it? As much as I wanted to. I don't have a pill, but I do have a lifestyle that can add 15, 20 years to your life in many cases, okay? If you just gave up dairy products, there was a study that was done. If you just gave up dairy products, 8 quality years added to your life. If you gave up all animal products, at least 11 quality years added to your life. And there it is, and it's free. You don't have to do anything. And it breaks my heart, and I see this a lot. I go to I shop like everybody else. Go to a grocery store, go to a restaurant, and I see the most unhealthy people. And I look in their cart, and they have the most unhealthy food. And then I look at the healthy people, the people that are thin, the people that are active, and they have the best food in their cart. So there's no secret. All the studies point to the same thing. Want to live a long life? Eat more fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. You want to avoid diseases? Eat more fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. You want to have better brain function, better sex, whatever it is, fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. It all goes back to the same thing over and over and over again. And for some reason, society doesn't get that. And I don't know why. That's my job. I guess I got to teach you that. Now, quercetin. Got off on a tangent. We have quercetin. We add it to our supplement called Dr. Joe's Essential Source. Now, if you're not willing to do anything else, at least do Dr. Joe's Essential Source. It's a powder. It tastes great. And I mix it with Dr. Joe's Super Greens, which has chlorella and spirulina in it, which helps clean out my liver. And I take that every single day, sometimes twice a day. But I can't imagine why you are not taking at least Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source. Essential Source has over 72 ingredients in it. And when I created it, I said, okay, what are the supplements that everybody's missing? Basically, today's topic, supplements you're not taking. And I added quercetin as one of the supplements in the Essential Source, along with a lot of other ones. They're all on the website, drjoe.com. It is way less expensive than a cup of coffee. It tastes great. And usually when you take this stuff, you don't need the coffee because you have so much energy. So drjoe.com, you can order those supplements there. So if you're just tuning in, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the best supplements you're not taking. And it's important to take care of the chemistry in your body, of course, with diet supplements. I can't imagine not doing that. And I wish the whole world would get that simple concept, this simple, inexpensive concept. It's there. But you also have to take care of the structure. And I believe this is the missing link in healthcare. We don't address structural issues. What do I mean by that? If I have a pinched nerve in my low back, let's say, I might have back pain, leg pain, hip pain, knee pain, ankle pain. But that same nerve controls the colon, sex organs, and bladder. So if you have a pinched nerve in the low back, you might have gas, bloating, diarrhea, constipation, urinary issues, sexual issues. The nerves in the low back control certain parts of the body. The nerves in the neck control certain parts of the body. All the nerves control certain parts of the body. And so I always want to check the nerve supply to make sure it's working properly. Not just for pain, because 90% of the nerves in your body don't feel pain. Most people don't know that. 90% of the nerves don't feel pain. So we want to check the nerves that feel pain and the nerves that don't feel pain. So if you have back pain or any type of pain, come see us. In the Atlanta area, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. We would love to be your doctors. We'll check your nervous system. We'll check your digestive system. We'll check your diet. We'll talk about supplements you're not taking or should be taking, foods that you should add to your diet, foods to take out of your diet. And let's put together a protocol specifically for you. How cool would that be? That you can actually have a protocol to get well and stay well. Not just treating symptoms, but treating the cause. So go to my website, drjoe.com. We'd love to see you. Normally the first visit is $940. We've reduced that for my listeners, that's you, to $299. Exam, x-rays, consultation, first treatment, going over the x-rays, and a complete nutrition evaluation. drjoe.com. Do it right now. We accept most insurances. We accept people with cash. It's the most affordable treatment plan out there. Most effective, least expensive treatment, certainly for back pain, but we go way beyond that. drjoe.com. All right, so we're talking about supplements, the best supplements you're not taking. I want to talk about omega-3 fatty acids. Now, this is a powerful supplement that everyone should consider taking because it's called an essential fatty acid, omega-3 essential fatty acids. What it means by essential is that you can't produce it on your own. You have to get it from an outside source. And there's different types of omega-3 fatty acids, DHA, EPA. The EPA has been found as a powerful effects on cognition, mood, inflammation, immunity, and heart health. Sounds like conditions every old person has, doesn't it? Cognition, heart health, immunity. It's so easy. It's so simple, and it's absolutely necessary. Now, these anti-inflammatory fats, you might get some in your diet. It was kind of funny, though. I was doing a story the other day, and somebody said, well, Dr. Joe, I eat fish every day because fish is high in omega-3 fatty acids. When you cook the fish, surprisingly, about 80% of the omega-3 fatty acids are destroyed. Heat destroys the omega-3 fatty acids. So if you think you're doing yourself good, or well, by eating fish, you're not. Because when you cook it, you destroy the omega-3 fatty acids. Also, you have to be concerned about the mercury content. A lot of fish out there, in fact, most fish, has high mercury content. The brain needs 0 mercury to function properly. And so it's actually affecting the brain in an adverse way. If mercury gets into the brain, it can cause some severe damage. So I'm not a fan of fish. Well, what about, no, I'm not a fan of fish, okay? If you're going to eat fish, it's got to be the smallest fish possible. So sardines. Because the bigger the fish, the higher mercury content in most cases. But again, if you cook the sardines, you're destroying the omega-3 fatty acids anyway. So I take an omega-3 supplement every day. You probably should too. And I take an algae oil. Algae is the purest form of omega-3, and it's where the fish get their omega-3s. Fish can't produce omega-3s. It's an essential fatty acid for them too. They get it from eating smaller fish who eat the algae. So I take an algae oil. It's on my website, drjoe.com, and I take it every day. So basically what I'm doing today is I didn't realize this when I put this together. I'm telling you the supplements that I take every day. I take more than this. I won't have time to discuss them all. But omega-3 fatty acids, absolutely essential. Just go to my website, drjoe.com, click on the store link, and you'll see them there. Vitamin D. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about the best supplements you're not taking. Vitamin D, critical for bone health, critical for immune function, critical for so many bodily functions. And it's a vitamin you probably know about, but there's a very good chance you're not getting enough of it. I gave a talk the other day to a senior housing group, and it's very high end, $15,000 a month just to live in this place. And that's for people that can get on by themselves. Usually they can function, they can go out shopping and stuff like that. So I said to them, what would it look like if every one of your residents, there's 108 residents at this one place, if every one of your residents was 5% healthier than they are right now? What would that look like? And the nurse who was in the meeting with me said, oh my God, that would change our lives dramatically. I said, would it save you money? And the director, the person in charge of finances went, that would save us so much money, millions of dollars it would save us. I said, okay, everybody here should take 5,000 international units of vitamin D. It'll cost you about 10 cents a day. And the nurse looked at me and she looked at the directors and she goes, I never thought of it like that before, but he's right. So a quick, easy, I always say vitamin D is the cheapest insurance policy you'll ever buy. Vitamin D can help the immune system, help build bones. And who's at risk? Well, pretty much everybody. Unless you're outside in the sun, working in South Florida every day for about 20 minutes at least, chances are you're at risk of having low vitamin D. So elderly people, people that are indoors a lot, people that are homebound, you're not getting full exposure, dark-skinned people. If you're overweight people can have that problem as well. So you got to look at these things and say, who's at risk? Everybody's at risk. And so I would strongly advise you consider vitamin D. Folks, got to go to a break. Got a lot more to cover. Please don't go anywhere. We've got so much to cover. If you have any health questions, send them to me through my website, drjoe.com, drjoe.com. Happy to answer any health questions you have. Follow me on social media at Dr. Joe Esposito. Between all our platforms, we probably have over 1 million followers. We post health tips every single day. And you're going to want a part of that. You want to be part of that because it's 1-minute health tips. Boom, boom, boom. And it's free. It's easy. If you have any questions, again, drjoe.com. If you want to make an appointment, order supplements, drjoe.com. If you're a podcast junkie, go to your podcast service and type in Dr. Joe for the health of it. Dr. Joe for the health of it, all different separate words. And we post at least 2 podcasts a week, many times more. But the main thing to do is just come see us. Just make an appointment. We can do it virtually or in person, drjoe.com. Folks, I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back. Bam. What do you have?
What about all the latest news on cold and flu meds not working?
Yes, I saw that. Yeah, it's kind of funny. That one of the drugs they were giving you doesn't work, and so they're trying to pull it off the market. And that's all well and good, but more important than that, what can we do to not get a cold and a flu? That's actually way more important than does the drug work or not. Now, some drugs do work. I understand. Antihistamines work. Fever reducers work. One of the worst things you can do if you have a fever is try to reduce it, unless it's above 103, 105. Let's say 103. We'll be conservative. But we're finding now that people that take fever reduction, even aspirin, can lead to long-term problems. So if you have a fever, cool baths would work. Cool compresses on your head. Keeping the body comfortable, drinking a lot of fluids. And the fever is there for a reason. The fever raises the body temperature to kill off viruses. And we don't have drugs for viruses. We do have herbs that have been shown to help with viruses, like garlic, vitamin D. These things can help with viruses too. So if you get a cold, and I'm not saying you're not ever going to get a cold again, cut out all the sugar, the breads, cookies, cakes, donuts, pastas. Take supplements like Super Green, Essential Source, vitamin D. We have supplements on the website called Immune Booster and Seasonal Tonic. Wellness Booster, Wellness Booster and Seasonal Tonic. I certainly take those throughout the cold and flu season as well. Now, if you do get a little sick, it's okay. Stay warm, drink a lot of fluids, let the body do its thing. But, yeah, so I understand it's a problem, but I'd rather see you get healthy than worry about does it work or not.
This is a good one. What about a show on mushrooms?
Okay.
Slate that for...
Sure. Got a sesame seed caught in my throat. Had sesame seeds for lunch. Yeah, I could do a show on mushrooms. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's a one thing we just found recently called ergothioneine, and ergothioneine is helping in so many different things. And so mushrooms are pretty cool. That's why mushroom coffees are becoming real popular. Mushroom supplements are becoming popular. But yeah, mushrooms are great. What else?
Now, I have this person has bile acid malabsorption, diverticular bowel disease, and IBS.
Okay.
So they can't necessarily eat fiber.
Mm-hmm.
How can they eat well and not be ill?
Super Green's an essential source. Very little fiber, and that's super concentrated nutrients. And the irony of things like you are that they say don't eat fiber because it can irritate your bowels. Well, it can. But one of the reasons you got the problem, in most cases, is because you didn't eat enough fiber. So Super Green's an essential source. Chiropractic care, adjust the low back. That's the nerve supply into the bowels. You want to fix that. I'm going to bet you your stomach is pushed up against your diaphragm, so we need to pull the stomach down away from the diaphragm. We'll do that when you come in and get your low back checked. And go to my website, drjoe.com, and just type digestion in the search bar and listen to the show we did on digestion. It'll be very enlightening for you. All right, what else?
This person's recommending the seasonal tonic as well.
Oh, yeah.
Having knocked out just about anything.
Seasonal tonic's amazing. Usually a cold lasts about 2 days when you take it. It tastes horrible, in my opinion. Some people like it, like Garrett. He's a little weird. But it's pretty powerful stuff, but it works, yeah.
I love it with my sardines.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This person just started on thyroid meds. Can I keep taking all of these supplements?
You should be taking all those supplements, as a matter of fact. Yeah, thyroid, if you go to my website, drjoe.com, we did a show on thyroid. And it's interesting because the thyroid produces 2 hormones, essentially, vitamin T2 and T3. The thyroid produces about, I think, 25% of the T3. But you need 100% of the T3. Where does it come from? It comes from T4. T4 converts into T3. Where does the conversion occur? In the liver. So you got to take care of your liver and give yourself enough iodine to produce the T3 and T4. And many times that's manageable then. So, yeah, listen to my show on thyroid and take Super Greens and Essential Source, which both have iodine in them. So.
You recommended vitamin D3. This person says that they work outdoors year-round. Is it still necessary?
Well, you might want to check your blood levels then. You can go get a real inexpensive test. The next time you get your blood work, check your blood levels. Now, Acceptable blood level is about 400 nanograms per milliliter. I want you to get to 60 to 80 nanograms per milliliter. So don't worry about the nanograms per milliliter. Whatever they measured in, 40 is acceptable. I want you at 60 to 80. If you're not at 60 to 80, then you should be taking a supplement. Mine's at 67, I think, last time I took it. So.
Mine's at 69.
Show off. You're young, good looking. That's what happens.
What is and what are your thoughts on NMN?
MNM. I don't know what that is.
NMN is nicotinamide mononucleotide.
Oh, okay, yes. Okay, good, yeah. Yeah, folks, when you put letters in there, that could mean anything, okay? It could be a Boy Scout troop somewhere. It's great. Absolutely good. It's wonderful. Make sure you get enough B vitamins, though, because that's where you're going to get it. That's the precursor to it, and you should be fine. Mm-hmm.
What do patients do if they want PRP at your office?
Go to my website, drjoe.com, and when you book your appointment, just say you want to set up a PRP consultation. You'll probably set up with me. I will sit down with you personally. I'll see if you're a candidate for PRP, and if you are, then we set you up with our medical doctor, Dr. Sanders, and then we get the PRP treatments done. And if you don't know what PRP is, it's really good stuff.
That's all for now.
That's it for now. Okay, good. Ashley, you're good? Okay, good. Ashley's good here. Ashley's assistant producer today. So, all right. Got to get that sesame seed out of my throat. It just won't come out. As a consummate professional, I still do a show. Sesame seeds and all. All right, ready for part 2? Hey, folks, Dr. Joe Esposito here. Glad you're with me today. We're talking today about the best supplements that you're not taking. Because so many of you, I think all of you, would benefit from taking some or many supplements. And I take supplements every single day. I cannot imagine a day going by without supplements. And it was interesting. I ran into some people I went to high school with a while ago, and they knew me right away. Esposito. Everybody call you Espo. My football jacket had Espo on it. Teachers called me Espo. My friends' parents called me Espo. I don't think anybody knew my first name, actually, in high school. And Espo, oh my God, you look the same as you did. Now, my hair's a lot less than I had. But generally speaking, I weigh about the same I did in high school. And, I'm looking pretty good. And I couldn't recognize any of them. And I'm looking at them going, guys and girls. I'm like, I can't really tell the difference. Yeah. Then they said who they were. And I'm like, oh, yeah. No idea. So I went back and looked at my yearbook. And I said, wow, time has not been their friend. Now, I'm not being critical. I'm being observant. Because the people that took care of themselves, I remember going to a high school reunion, and my friend Bob Zimmerman looked great. Okay, and he looked good, and a couple other people looked good. But time has not been a friend to a lot of them. And the people that looked good led a certain lifestyle. The people that don't look good didn't lead a certain lifestyle. Now, it's not about looks. It's about how healthy you are, of course. But generally speaking, those two many times go together. You don't have to be good looking, but at least don't look so ragged. And a lot of that has to do with diet, people you hang around with, getting chiropractic care to keep the joints mobile, and supplements. And I don't know why this is not, well, I do know why. It's not taught in every medical school. It's not taught in every grammar school. Because in grammar school, what are the things you're not taught? How to take care of yourself, how to make money, how to have a relationship. Those are the 3 things that are not being taught, and that's the one that everybody has to go through. And not just a romantic relationship. How about at work? How about at school? Never taught these things. So again, when I become Grand Poobah of the Universe, one of my changes is going to be that those 3 things are going to be mandatory topics. Because you have to learn this stuff. And you didn't know about quercetin, probably. You didn't know about vitamin D, probably, unless you listen to my show a lot. All the things we talked about earlier. And so that's what we're talking about today are the best supplements you're not taking or the best lifestyle changes you're not doing. So I take vitamin D every day. You should too. Make sure there's vitamin K2 with it. Vitamin D3 helps you absorb calcium as well as a million other things. And the vitamin K2 drives the calcium out of your blood and into the bones. And I see a lot of people with hardening of the arteries, calcification buildup, usually due to diet, but it could be due to improperly taking vitamin D3. Just make sure you get K2 with it. Or eat a good plant-based diet, which has a lot of K1 in it, and the K1 converts into K2. And let's talk about K2. Now, there's 2 forms, K1 and K2. Both help with blood clotting, but vitamin K2 helps keep your bones and your heart healthy. Why? It takes the calcium out of the blood and out of the heart, drives it into the bones. Now, you can think of vitamin K2 kind of like the traffic coordinator. It directs the calcium into the bones and keeps it out of the arteries. That's why K2 is linked to lower risk of heart disease as well as the prevention of osteoporosis and fractures. And I'm going to venture a guess that a majority of you have never even heard of vitamin K2, much less know what to do with it. Now you do. That's my job. Now, it's hard to get enough K2 because if you want K2 directly, it's found in things like cheeses, fermented soy products, and that's why I add it directly to my vitamin D3. Now, I don't recommend you eat cheese, of course. If you're going to eat soy, when I say fermented soy, that could be miso, which is a fermented soy. It tastes like makes broth. It tastes like it's a paste. There's also something called natto, N-A-T-T-O. Now, if you know me, you know I'm a big fan of eating right. You know I'm a big fan of taking care of yourself. And natto is one of the healthiest foods you can eat. It is disgusting. Oh, my God. I can eat anything. I mean, I've grown up in an Italian-German family. We were poor. We ate everything. I would never, under any circumstances, recommend you try eating natto because it tastes up. I can eat a lot of stuff. I remember I got natto sushi one time, and I spit it out. It was so bad. But anyway, I digress. My point is that fermented foods are very good for you, but it's a problem. Now, I have problems with eating fermented foods. I get a headache if I eat fermented foods. So if I eat sauerkraut, pickles, kimchi, I get a headache from it. And so I then have to get my benefits from fermented foods from other places. Now, again, that's just me. Other people can do it. It's fine. So whether you're eating a good diet or when it isn't ideal, vitamin K2 doesn't tend to show up in your food, especially if you're eating a Western diet. Now, if you're eating a plant-based diet, you got plenty of K1, which convert to K2. But when I make my vitamin D3, I add vitamin K2 to it. So D3 with K2, this way when you take the supplement, you're getting it both. You don't have to worry about not getting it. But that's another supplement you probably need to take, especially if you want to keep your heart healthy and your bones healthy. It was interesting. I saw a lecture the other day, and it talked about osteoporosis. And what's the one supplement that comes to mind when I say osteoporosis? What supplement should you take? Calcium, right? Calcium actually can make the problem worse. And in fact, in all the years, I've seen thousands, tens of thousands of patients. I've never seen anyone take calcium and make osteoporosis better. Because you can't just take one supplement without the ones that go with it. It's a symbiotic relationship. So if you take too much calcium, you throw off your magnesium balance, the calcium-magnesium balance, because most people don't have enough magnesium. So you think, I'm going to take calcium supplements, not a good idea. And also calcium carbonate, which is the most common supplement, not a good idea. Calcium carbonate can actually clog up your receptor sites so you can't absorb the good calcium. Calcium carbonate, not a good idea. That's why some people take these little pills for acid indigestion. It's a form of calcium. It's calcium carbonate. Don't take it. I would never recommend somebody do that. So you can throw off your calcium-magnesium balance if you're taking calcium, because bones are made up, of 17 different nutrients, I think it was. Don't quote me on the exact number. And you need all of them. Just calcium alone, not a good idea. You say, well, I got muscle cramps, I'm going to take calcium. Well, it throws off the magnesium balance, and then the muscles can actually cramp even more. So just be careful. That's why if you want an expert like myself, I'm happy to help you. Because messing with supplements, it's usually pretty benign, but you don't want to be messing with it. Get the right advice. I have an accountant do my taxes. Why? He's an expert. He's going to I can probably do it myself, but you know what? I may screw up. I may not get the best tax deductions. Go to your experts. My German grandfather, Frank, always taught me, always buy the best. It's always cheaper. And you need to buy the best. It's always cheaper. And that's why I want to be your doctor. I want to help you navigate so that you can get healthy. And once you figure it out, it's pretty easy, but I'll help you there. So if you're just tuning in, I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. What we're talking about today are the best supplements you're not taking. And another one you're probably not taking is probiotics. And I got to tell you about probiotics. There's good and not so good. Not bad, just good and not so good. So if you're thinking about taking a probiotic, the answer is yes, you should do it. The nice part is it's a very benign supplement if you're not going to hurt yourself with it. More and more evidence suggests probiotics are linked to potential health benefits, including digestion, immune system, reduced inflammation, brain function, anti-aging. We are more bacteria than we are human. If you look at all the DNA in our body, we have substantially more bacteria DNA than we have human DNA. So we really are nothing more than life support for bacteria. Bacteria comes in us and grows in us and lives in us, and we're supporting them. We're the host of these parasites, if you want to look at it that way. but they're good parasites. So we got to have good bacteria and bad bacteria. There's always this fight, this balance between the good and the bad bacteria. When the bad bacteria start taking over because you don't have enough good bacteria, that's when you start to see digestive issues, brain issues, emotional issues, speeding up the aging process, affecting the immune system. And so probiotics are really important. Now, you can eat probiotic-rich foods that are fermented. And the first thing you might think of as a probiotic food is yogurt. Well, there's a problem. Most of the yogurt sold in the United States is pasteurized. So if you're going to make yogurt, which is loaded with good bacteria, whether it's dairy or non-dairy, I don't recommend the dairy, by the way. Non-dairy would be like coconut or almond yogurt. It's going to have probiotics in it. But then we pasteurize it, we kill off the bacteria. It's heat sensitive. It's bacteria. You heat things, you kill bacteria. So you're killing off the good bacteria. So what it says on the label, the amount of billions of probiotics, that's pre-pasteurization. Then they ship it. It could sit on a truck. It could get hot and be destroyed. And over time, the bacteria can die off. Then you bring it home. You put it in your refrigerator. You check the date. Can I eat it? Can I eat it? That expiration date is passed. Taste it. It still tastes good. I eat it. Chances are you're not going to get the probiotics that you think. So I take a probiotic supplement every day. And if you're going to take a yogurt, make sure it's a non-dairy yogurt. Things like kefir, which is kind of like a liquidy yogurt. Again, non-dairy. Sauerkraut, kombucha, kimchi, miso, pickles. I can't do fermented food, gives me a headache. So I got to take my probiotics as a supplement. Now, I'll tell you a little story about kombucha. Kombucha is fermented, and it has alcohol in it. And so for years, no one seemed to catch that. I remember thinking about that probably 20 years ago, thinking, wait a minute, this has alcohol in it. How are we selling this without people getting ID'd or proofed? Well, Lindsay Lohan changed all that. Lindsay Lohan was caught one time, one of her drinking binges, and she went to court, and she pled to the judge, I wasn't drinking, I was drinking kombucha, which does have alcohol in it. The judge said, wait a minute. He finally realized what I had realized years ago. That has alcohol in it? Pulled all the kombucha off the shelves in the entire country. And now kombucha has to be pasteurized. To kill off the alcohol, kills off the good bacteria too. You can buy raw kombucha that hasn't been pasteurized, but guess what? Got to be 20 years old to buy it because technically it's an alcohol. So I'm not a fan of kombucha. Actually knew a gal once, and she drank more than she should have, tossing back more than her share, as a 10,000 Maniacs song once said. And that's a band, by the way. And she was tossing back more than her share, and she said, well, I'm going to switch to kombucha because I like to have a little drink at night. And so she switched kombucha. Well, guess what? It still had alcohol in it. It was still alcohol. And apparently she was an alcoholic was the problem. So not a good idea. Kimchi, if you're going to eat kimchi, be careful. A lot of times they make kimchi with shrimp paste. And shrimp paste has monosodium glutamate in it. And monosodium glutamate can really affect your brain. It's a cytotoxin to the brain. So just think about that. That's why I take a supplement every day. And chances are you're not eating raw sauerkraut, raw kimchi, miso, and pickles every day. That's why I take a supplement. Now, there's something called prebiotics as well. Now, if you don't know what prebiotics are, I'm going to teach you something new. Probiotics are the good bacteria in your colon. Prebiotics feed the good bacteria. They're the food for the probiotics. They're called prebiotics. So prebiotics feed the probiotics. Now, you can get prebiotics from eating a lot of vegetables, fruits. They have prebiotics in them. Things like fructooligosaccharides. That's a big word there. Or you can take a supplement that has prebiotics in it, like Dr. Joe's Essential Source. We put prebiotics in there, and we put probiotics in there as well. So it's really important to keep the good bacteria in good balance in your body. Now, there is something called SIBO, small intestinal overgrowth. SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And that's when the bad bacteria start to overgrow and start to take over. And in cases like that, you'd have to come see me, and I have to do some special work with them. I'm not going to go into that today. It's a kind of specialty area. But generally speaking, I take a probiotic, and I eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, which gives me my prebiotics as well. And it's really nice because that can help your immune system. And as we segue into the cold and flu season and other diseases, who knows what's coming this year, you want to keep your immune system as healthy as you possibly can. So if you're just tuning in, I am Dr. Joe Esposito. We're having a lot of fun today. We're talking about the best supplements you're not taking. I want to talk about something called rhodiola. Never heard of it, have you? See how much you're learning today? Rhodiola. It's called an adaptogenic herb, and it's known to help your body adapt to stress of daily life, and all of us have stress in our daily lives. So rhodiola is kind of important. Adaptogens, what they do, they help the body resist stressors and maintain overall balance of the central nervous system. Central nervous system is essentially tied to gut health and digestion. Everything's connected. This is another shortcoming in modern medicine, is if you have a heart problem, you go to a cardiologist. You have a liver problem, you go to a liver doctor. You have a digestive problem, you go to a gastroenterologist. You go to girl problems, you go to your gynecologist. But it doesn't work that way. Everything is connected. We just learned that vitamin K2 helps take calcium out of the blood and drive it into the bones, which helps your heart and your bones. Two different doctors, orthopedists and heart doctors, cardiologists. So I want to go back to the old days where doctors knew about how the whole body works. I'm not going to make that happen. I wish I could, but you have me who can help you do that. I don't give drugs. I don't do surgery. If you need drugs and surgery, I'm the first person to refer you out. And the doctors, I had an orthopedic surgeon send his wife to me the other day. He said, Joe, she needs your help, man. You're the expert, man. I want you to take over this case for me. His own wife. And so we work very closely with a lot of doctors in different areas because nobody knows everything. But adaptogens, back to that, they can carry a pain into your muscles, and that can cause cramping. And so the central nervous system controls all this, and the rhodiola helps balance that out. It stimulates, it energizes, it gives you lots of energy. So if you don't know what rhodiola is, I use it in Dr. Joe's adrenal support. Now, that's a supplement, another supplement I take every single day. It has rhodiola. It has other adaptogens in it because your adrenal glands produce energy. They produce sex hormones, and they produce anti-inflammatories called prostaglandins. And nobody talks about the adrenal glands, and yet they control so much of the body. And so if you're over 30, if you drink coffee, if you have stress, which is pretty much everyone in the whole world, I would recommend an adrenal supplement as well. Now, you think to yourself, Dr. Joe, you take a lot of supplements. No, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10 a day. It's expensive. No, it's not. It's way less expensive than coffee, way less expensive than fast food, way less expensive than going out to dinner. I was laughing the other day, a girl and a guy friend of mine, we went out to dinner, and dinner was about $65. No drinks, just food. And I thought, man, we would not spend $65 in a month on certain things. And a lot of people say, like supplements, $65 a month, I can't afford that. Yet just going out to dinner costs you that much. So this is an investment. This is not something you should do because you want to. This is an investment in your health, investment in your life, and you're going to save so much money if you're healthy. Number one reason for bankruptcy in the country, what do you think it is? Medical bills. So if you're healthy, you don't have to spend as much money on medicine. You're going to have a lot more money to spend on other things. Patients tell me all the time, Dr. Joe, I can't afford not to take your supplements. I can't afford not to get chiropractic care. I can't afford not to get my stomach adjusted when I have acid reflux. I can't afford not to do any of these things because it's so much cheaper than anything else. So if you would like to make an appointment to come see us in the Atlanta area, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb, or we can do remote consultations as well. Just go to my website, drjoe.com, drjoe.com, my pretty face right there on front. And you can set up an appointment either virtually or in person. And we want to talk about your nervous system. We want to talk about your digestive system. We want to talk about your diet, your specific needs. We want to customize a plan specifically for you. It's not cookie cutter. It's kind of ironic I say cookie cutter, right? Cookie's bad. We want to put together a protocol specifically for you. So drjoe.com, we'd love to see you. Normally the first visit, if you come see us in person, is $940. We've reduced that to $299. That's an exam, x-rays, consultation, first treatment, going over the x-rays, complete nutrition evaluation. You're going to walk away from the first 2 visits with way more than you probably ever got anywhere else. drjoe.com. We'd love to see you. And we accept people with most insurances, cash patients, payment plans available. Most of that doesn't matter because it's the most effective, least expensive treatment for pain, certainly. And if you're in a car accident, folks, please, I'm on my knees begging you, come see us immediately. Do not fall for these scam phone calls. Oh, come see this doctor, come see this lawyer. If anybody calls you after a car accident, it's a scam. 100%. And it's illegal, by the way. I don't know what happens if you get caught up in the legalities of it. Don't fall for it. drjoe.com. We'd love to see you. We can get you in this week. Whenever you're listening to this week. We can get you in this week. So drjoe.com. We'd love to see you. All the supplements we're talking about, also available on the website, drjoe.com. Not all of them, most of them. We don't have a quercetin, but we add it to our essential source. So I want to talk about turmeric. Turmeric is an ingredient. It makes your meal tasty, certainly. It's been used for over 4,000 years. This is not something new. It can be taken as an extract, a tincture, capsule form. You can use it on your food. Some people say, well, Dr. Joe, I use turmeric in my food. It's probably not enough to have a reaction or what we call a medicinal effect. If I had to think of one anti-inflammatory, the best, it would be turmeric. And it's been shown to help with things like cancer, heart disease, diabetes, colon issues. So turmeric rocks. Powerful anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, helps brain health, cardiovascular health, cancer prevention. Again, why wouldn't you be taking it? If I came out and if I advertised this as this magic pill that can help all these different things, you'd say, oh my gosh, where can I get it? Well, one place is on our website, drjoe.com. Now, one of the reasons I love incorporating into my food is it increases the growth of new neurons and can help various degenerative diseases of the brain. Now, I've had several traumatic brain injuries in my life. One almost killed me, and I played football and hockey, so multiple concussions. So I am very high risk of Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, but I've reversed all that, I feel, through my diet, through chiropractic care, opening up the nerve and blood supply up to my head, through exercises to keep the brain healthy, and things like turmeric. Turmeric supports a healthy heart, can help lower risk of heart disease. A little goes a long way. So the capsules on the website, drjoe.com, you can take 1 or 2 a day. That should be fine. If you have an inflammatory event, you have a cold or flu coming on, sprain your ankle, or you get in a car accident, there's damage to the body, then you might want to consider taking 3 or 4 capsules a day. But it's pretty benign, it's pretty inexpensive, and it works really well. And again, it's been around for 4,000 years. This is not something new. So turmeric might be something you want to consider incorporating into your life. And then really the ultimate supplement would be fruits and vegetables. So years ago, I was sitting down. I remember I was talking to my friend Johnny out in California. And I said, man, I'd love to create, like, if you could invent the perfect supplement, this is before I invented a lot of my supplements, what would it be? I said, if somebody could take fruits and vegetables and put it in a pill form, wouldn't that be great? Inexpensive, easy, doesn't go bad, pop it every day. So I created something called Dr. Joe's Essential Source. And what we did is we take fruits and vegetables, juice them, take the water out at a very low temperature, and what's left is a powder. Then we add the prebiotics, probiotics, digestive enzymes, complete multivitamin, and then priority blends of fruits and vegetables. And that's Essential Source. So it's fruits and vegetables in a powder form. And I can't imagine not taking it every single day. And I think you should consider taking it every single day as well. So fruits and vegetables, they have the prebiotics, the probiotics, the antioxidants. I've studied nutrition now for 40 years, and we've come up with new things. Ergotheanine we came up with the other day, and it's found in mushrooms. And it's great for anti-aging, keeping the brain healthy. So we discover new things all the time. They come from where? Fruits and vegetables. So that's why I take Essential Source every day, and again, I think you should too. It's not instead of a good diet, it's in addition to a good diet. But even if you're not eating a good diet, at least take Super Greens and Essential Source. They're 2 powders. I take a scoop of each. They taste great. I got a jar. I shake it up. I add coconut milk or almond milk, shake it up. I add my vitamin D to it, and I drink it every single morning. It's the first thing I do when I get out of bed. And no matter how tired I am, no matter how groggy I am, no matter how much I don't want to get out of bed, as soon as I get it in me, my morning starts. And if I have a very stressful day or busy day or I got a lot going on, I had holiday parties, I got lectures coming up, TV appearances, I'll take a second dose. It's quick, it's easy, it's inexpensive, it travels well, and it's fruits and vegetables in a powder form. Plus, way, way more than that. So if a salad is good, which it is, Super Green Essential Source is even better. Now, a lot of people have digestive problems, and they can't eat fiber because fiber can irritate irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, colitis. And the irony of that is that the reason you probably have Crohn's and colitis, bowel syndrome, is because you didn't eat enough fiber. But now the fiber can irritate it, so Super Greens and Essential Source solve that problem. It's all the nutrients, all the benefits, no fiber. Now, if you can eat fiber, that's one of the things that so many people are deficient in. Now, I don't want you taking a fiber supplement because that's kind of artificial. And many times the fiber supplements, even if it's real, if it's natural fiber like psyllium husk or something like that, I want you to get your fiber from food. So fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. Now, nuts can be a little constipating, actually, so you want to be careful with the nuts. I would say 1 or 2 servings of nuts a day. Now, what does that look like? Cup your hand. That's how many nuts is a serving. 1 or 2 servings of nuts a day is all you need. They're very high in fat. They are fattening, but they're also really good for you. So even like pistachios, that little flake that stays in the shell? that's high in melatonin, which can actually help you sleep, but also help as an antioxidant. Folks, I got so much more to cover. I just don't have time. If you have any health questions, please send it to me through my website, drjoe.com. I would love to be your doctor. So go to my website, drjoe.com. Make an appointment to come see us. In the Atlanta area, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb, or we can do virtual appointments as well. All the supplements we talked about today are on the website, drjoe.com, in the store section. If you have questions about what to take specifically for you, just send me the question through the website. I'll give you the best advice I can. If you're a podcast junkie, I know a lot of you are, I want you to go to your podcast service and type in Dr. Joe for the health of it. Dr. Joe for the health of it. We post at least 2 podcasts a week. And then we post on social media every day at Dr. Joe Esposito, at Dr. Joe Esposito, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. We post every single day. Folks, I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. I can't thank you enough for being here. I'll catch you next time. Boom. You got questions?
I do. I got a really good question.
I like good questions.
Why are we taught the benefits of vitamin C, but no other vitamin gets that much love?
I don't know that. I wish I had those answers. Vitamin C does get a lot of love. If you're going to take vitamin C, make sure it's pure vitamin C and not ascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid is what most vitamin C supplements claim they are, but it's really only 1/8 of the vitamin C molecule. So pure vitamin C, that's why you listen to this show, because you're superior to everyone else, because you have so much more knowledge than everybody else just tuning in. I don't have that answer.
I did think that, there is a lot they don't tell us about vitamin C.
Yes.
Like ascorbic acid.
Ascorbic acid. Mm-hmm. Too much will give you diarrhea.
Or you can't take, vitamin C is poorly absorbed, so you're supposed to take it throughout the day.
Spread it out. Take it all at once. Like Garrett said, you'll pass it out or give you diarrhea, which you pass it out. What else you got?
Do you know of any healthy cereals?
Not really. The best thing you can do is make your own. It's called muesli. And I would take organic oats. It's got to be organic because you use a lot of glyphosate on oats. So it's got to be organic oats, organic dried fruit so it doesn't have sulfites in it, or whatever nuts you like and seeds you want, and mix it together. And that's way cheaper than anything you're ever going to buy. And it's a healthy choice. So that's what I would do. I just save you a ton of money too.
What fruits do you eat that are low in sugar?
I eat all the fruits because it's not so much the sugar content that you have to worry about, because the fruit has fiber in it. And the fiber pushes the sugar through the colon, and you get a slow release of the sugar. So I'm not worried about too much sugar from fruit. I'm worried about too much sugar from processed foods like fruit juice, which is processed. Breads, cookies, cakes, donuts, pastas, sodas. So I'm not worried about the sugar in fruit. Unless you're a fruitarian, you eat nothing but fruit. That's not a good idea. But if you're going to eat 4 or 5 pieces of fruit a day, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Lastly, what are your thoughts on ashwagandha?
Ashwagandha is great. It's part of our Dr. Joe's adrenal support. It's an adaptogen, just like rhodiola. So, all right. Anything else? Nada? Great. Hey, folks, thanks for being here. I do appreciate it. Please do me a favor. If you're listening live, put in hashtag live. If you're listening as a replay, put in hashtag replay right now. If you would do that for me, I'd appreciate it. That lets the bots know that you're listening. And not you personally, but someone's listening. And any questions, drjoe.com. And follow us on all the social media platforms. So if you follow me on one, I give you all this information. It's my gift to you. Your gift to me is just go to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and just put in at Dr. Joe Esposito. You never have to hear from me again if you do it. I'd appreciate